What's up, y'all? RJ here with CV Tech, and today I'm going to do a rant video on deceptive internal storage. Now, I want to give a shout out to Aloha Android. I caught his replay of his live stream a little bit earlier, and I seen on there where somebody talked about internal storage, and how come you get less storage than what it actually shows. And I've got that question quite a bit on my channel as well, so I want to address my thoughts on what I think of it here in this rant video. Now, I think it's kind of ridiculous when you buy a phone, regardless if it's 8 gigs, 16 gigs, 32 gigs, whatever the case may be, and you pull it out of the package and thinking you're going to get that or at least close to it, and realize that most of the time, almost half of your storage is done gone in the operating system. If you get an 8 gigabyte device, you might have 3 to 4. If you get a 16 gigabyte device, you may have 9.5 to 11, and so on and so on. Looking at my HTC One A9 here, this is a 32 gigabyte device, but when I pulled it out of the box and got it all set up, I had around 24 and a half gigs available to me once it was all set up and ready to roll. And that's because of the operating system and all the preloaded crap that they put on the phone. Now, in my personal opinion, I believe that they are to, if the box says 32 gigs or 16 gigs or 8 gigs, I believe that it ought to be within at least a gig of that. I believe that they are to put in enough storage to cover the operating system. So whenever you pull it out of the box, if you got an 8 gigabyte phone, you should have between 7 to 7.5 gigs free. Of course, because all the they could honestly, they could allow more storage in their phones to cover the operating system if they wanted to. Instead of whenever you get a phone and it says, plainly on the back of the box, 16 gigabytes, and you pull it out and get it set up and it says 10. I've had a lot of comments saying, but my phone shows only 10.5 gigs, when I pull it out of the box. So is this really a 16 gigabyte model? And I'm like, yeah, but the operating system and the preloaded junk they put on there takes up, 6-7 gigabytes of your storage. If you got a 64 gig, you might get 50 gigs. That's just ridiculous. I believe, honestly, in my personal opinion, that they should be able, that they should, if it's on the box, it's 32 gigabytes, 64 gig, 8 gig, whatever the case may be, it ought to be within just a couple of gigs of that whenever you pull it out of the box and ready to roll. That don't go for cell phones only. That goes for game consoles. That goes for computers. Even the little micro SD card that you get. What's ridiculous to me is whenever you get like a 16 gigabyte micro SD card and you got 14.5 gigs. Where is that 1.5 gigs at that's missing? I mean, a little micro SD card does not need 1.5 gigs. I'm sorry, that's just my personal opinion. You get a card that's 32 gigs and you got around 28, 29 gigs. Where's the other 3 gigs at? I mean, seriously, that's just ridiculous in my personal opinion. You get like a Xbox One or a PS4, and you get like a 1 terabyte model, and you set it all up, and you got 750, 770 gigs out of 1 terabyte. That is just ridiculous in my personal opinion. I believe they ought to at least add enough storage into the phone, computer, game console, whatever it may be, to whenever you pull it out of the box, it should be as close as it can be to the actual storage that it shows on the box when you get it. I think it's deceptive, and I think it's ridiculous. Whenever I look at a Boost Mobile box, like when I got my Warp 7, back of it said internal storage 16 gigabytes, and you pull it out of the package and it says 10, it has 10, 10 and a half, whatever was on it. If that's the case, it should have said 10.42 gigs free. I mean, or on the back of the box instead of 16 gigs, it should have said 10 and a half. Why lie about it? Why be deceptive about it? I mean, they know they pretty much have an idea of what the operating system is going to take up whenever they make the phone. So, My thought is, why did they sit there and put a certain storage on the phone, but when you pull it out of the box, you're missing 8, 10 gigs, depending on what size phone storage is in your phone. Of course, if you get an 8 gigabyte phone and you got 3.13 gigs available, with the apps today, you can go through that storage just like that. I mean, 5 or 6 apps, and you're used up pretty much. So that's just my thoughts. I think it's beat up. I think it's messed up. I think it's deceptive, and I really believe that they ought to at least allow enough in their product to cover the operating system. So whenever you get it, you are within at least a gig of what the box says. So, share your thoughts down in the comment section below what y'all think. If this was informative, and if you agree with this video, hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Like I said before, leave your comments down below. I would love to know what y'all think about this as well. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'd appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see y'all in the next video.